Hi, today we're going to show you a better way to import and export your Shopify translations with Altera. Instead of using Shopify's format, which can get rather unwieldy, we'll have a spreadsheet format that's similar to Matrixify, where you can see identifying information like parent handles for the different translations that you need to do. First thing we'll need to do is make sure that we have a language set up in the Shopify store. So we can go here to settings, go to languages, and we'll add a language. In our example, we'll choose French, add that, and wait for that to get set up. You can import and export these through the Shopify admin, but it gets rather unwieldy, and a lot of things like meta fields aren't referenced. You just see the IDs, and you can't really figure out what type of information you're editing. So what we can do is we can use Altera, which is an alternative to Matrixify, which supports additional features, including translations. And it supports the same file formats as Matrixify, so you can import those files in Altera and vice versa. We'll create a new export and go over to translations. Here we have a few different options that we can do. We can change data type, so we'll choose French. And then we also have support for some different product filters. So if we wanted to just have draft products, we could do that. In our example, we'll set the product tag to be wax, and it will pull in one product for us. And then we'll start the export. This will take a little bit of time. Sometimes it might take longer if you have lots of products and the app will need to fetch some additional information. But once it's ready, we'll click on download output and get our Excel file here. Now there's a few things to note here that's different than the Shopify import-export format. The first is that this is compatible with Shopify's format. We have an identification column here, the same type and ID column. So you could, if you wanted to, upload this back into the Shopify admin directly. However, there's a few other differences here. One is for exports where you have lots of products, it's very hard, if not impossible, to group different products together. So here we have a parent type group, and this will allow us to group multiple products together and see the different translation keys that belong to a single product. And then you also notice we have a handle column here, which will, for the product, it will pull out the handle of the product, which makes it easier to identify. Especially for meta fields, we will include the namespace and the key here, whereas the Shopify export format would just show your meta field ID here. And then we have the locale or language, default content, and translated content. At this point, I'm just going to pause the video, paste in some French content, and then we'll re-upload it. Okay, I've pasted these translations in here, courtesy of ChatGPT. So now we can save this file. So we have a translations export ending in 802. Now we just go back to Altera. From here we can upload the file. We'll choose our file. The app will analyze the file to make sure that it's very good. Here we have just a warning that says this is a new thing. So if you have existing translations on the store, we do recommend that you back them up first just to be absolutely safe. And then we'll start the import. Now the app will go through, upload these translations for us, and after just a few seconds, everything should be ready. So instead of having to download the output file, you can also click on the result here, and it will take us directly to the Translate app, and we can see that the French translations are here, perfectly imported. So that's all there is to it. You can find Altera on the Shopify App Store, and if you have any questions about translations or importing any other content, just let us know. Thanks for watching.